All right, hello everybody. Hello, and welcome. How's everybody doing today? Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are feeling great and you're ready for a fun, full day of gameplay streaming, ladies and gents. I am. I'm excited for everything we're going to be doing today. First of all, first stream here, continuing on with the Heavy Rain anniversary playthrough. Yesterday I played it for about 4 hours. Got through the introduction, got through the, introductions of each character, basically, to the story. We are into the trials with Ethan Mars. I believe we completed the first trial, and we're just about to start the second, actually. Okay. Should be pretty good, a pretty good session. We'll see how far we get it. We'll get into it. We'll see how far we get into it. I'm not exactly sure, if we'll be finishing today or not. I remember this game could be anywhere from 8 to 10 hours long. And it all depends on how you do. It all depends on, do you succeed? Do people die? Does it cut entire segments out of the game or not, right? So far, so good. Everyone's still fine. But I know coming up, there's some pretty important situations where what you choose to do can determine, what happens to the characters. So we're going to see what happens. I may finish this today. I may not. If I don't, then I'll finish it up tomorrow, which I'll explain in just a moment. All right? All right, tonight, folks. Tonight, second stream will be Doki Doki Literature Club. I'm giving it a shot. Now, here's the deal. I played this game on Saturday during an Indies Marathon. This was an event that patrons had nominated and voted for games for me to play during this fun marathon. Okay? And, ooh, I have to burp, excuse me. That being said, I played for about 2.5 hours. Okay? 2.5 hours. And during those 2.5 hours, I got basically up to a point where people were like, Phil, if you had played for another 15 to 20 minutes, you would have hit the good part of the game. That apparently there's some kind of a crazy twist. There's some kind of a really important thing that happens in the game. And it turns into basically something completely different than what you expected. It's dark. Apparently, there's all these warnings over the game. Do not play this if you are young and stuff like that. So I can't imagine what the dark turn is going to be. I literally do not know. I've avoided spoilers, thank God. So we're going to see tonight what the dark turn is. Now, here's the thing. Doki Doki Literature Club apparently is about 6 hours long. I've already played 2.5 hours. So if I play it, let's say, for another 2 hours tonight, and I like whatever the twist is or whatever, okay? I'd be more than happy to do one more final kind of mini stream and finish it up and actually finish the game. But if I play this tonight and the twist is stupid and it's just like, who cares? It's something that's not worth it, then that's probably it. I'm not going to be continuing on. What's the point, right? The thing is, I invested 2.5 hours into this game over the weekend, and I'm like, damn, man, I really wish I would have known what this twist was, because, and this is the reason why everyone claims the game is worth playing, and I didn't get to it, okay? So I guess we'll see. Tonight, firsthand, all of us together will see what exactly the deal is with this game, okay? There you go. Tomorrow, as I just stated, if we have not completed Heavy Rain today, I will finish it up, and then I'll be switching over to Bully Scholarship Edition. That's right. Playthrough that I first did in 2013, 5 years ago, when I had first switched from recording with the camera and switched over to direct capture. Okay? And the thing is, the original playthrough is quite good. All right? The original playthrough is quite good. I really loved playing Bully back in the day. But having a playthrough that was first this kind of crappy visual quality and it changed completely to different audio quality. There were technical difficulties during the playthrough. I now feel like, now that it's my 10th year anniversary, right, of doing content on the internet, that it would be really cool to go back and re-experience this game. This was the game that actually got voted in second place by 1% of the votes in a poll that I held over the last few days to determine what games I'd be playing this week. 1%. So it was so close that I said, you know what? Fair enough. This will be the game that I play after Heavy Rain finishes, especially because, ladies and gentlemen, the fact of the matter is that being a 10-year content creator, it's cool to go back every once in a while and replay certain games that have been kind of synonymous with the great stuff that I've done over the years, right? And then, on top of all of that, the fact of the matter that, you know, there's no new releases right now. We're going to have new stuff starting next week. In fact, it's going to be the 16th when I'm going to start playing new content. The whole end of March is jam-packed with new stuff, okay? Pretty neat. So we'll have more information on that as we approach it, all right? Okay, so what else is going on? Let me think about this. Oh, let me continue with the schedule. So tomorrow, the conclusion of Heavy Rain, and then Bully Scholarship Edition starting up, all right? Then, for our Astro Jet Boy, you're getting a timeout. Why are you reading detractor stuff and now derailing the stream chat? Stop it. I'm trying to do pre-stream, and I look down, and the first thing I see, Astro Jet Boy, the detractors are saying this today and that today. How about you just fucking wise up and stop spamming the stream chat? It's hard to concentrate when I gotta see idiots as you. Every day, there's something different that these idiots are saying and doing and, you know, talking shit. A new idiot making a negative video about me. Another moron, you know, saying that I did this or did that. And I'm so tired of it, I just don't pay attention to it, and I'm not gonna let the stream chat be derailed, all right? All right. Moving on. So tomorrow, as I just said, the conclusion of Heavy Rain, and then the start of Bully Scholarship Edition. Tomorrow night will be the possible conclusion, I say it, possible conclusion, of Secret of Mana. The reason I say that is I actually have been playing the game for about 2 weeks now. And as of last night, I completed a really difficult dungeon. Like, the dungeon was tough. It had multiple levels of puzzle and stuff in it. It was just very difficult, very tricky. I did manage to get through it. And it was a pain in the ass, but I did, you know, push through it. So, tomorrow night I may finish it. We'll see. But tomorrow night may be the conclusion of Secret of Mana, because really, from what I'm to understand, I'll be honest with you guys, I looked it up because I wanted to see how much was left. There's basically like 1 or 2 major areas left for me to go in, and it's the final stretch of the game, but it's also very, like, there's a bunch of very difficult bosses coming up, supposedly. So, yeah, it should be pretty good, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish. I hope I can finish it in the next session, but I don't know how long it's going to take. I might have a lot of fails here where I'm fighting bosses and I die a lot because there's trickiness to the fights or whatever. We'll see. So that's going to be tomorrow night. And then Saturday will be a full day of multiplayer. But at the same time, it's also going to be paired with a day where I'm making a pot of Italian sauce. The first time I've made sauce since October. So it's been quite a long time, all right? What does this mean? It means that during the course of the multiplayer stream on Saturday, I'll be taking frequent breaks every 20 to 30 minutes in order to go stir and season my sauce. However, this is perfectly fine. Reason being is because I'm playing Call of Duty on my first stream on Saturday, and Call of Duty has matches that are about 10 minutes long. So I can play maybe 2 matches, 3 matches, head downstairs, do that, and then, you know, it won't really interrupt the stream that much. You know what I mean? So, that should be good. It should be fun. All-day multiplayer on Saturday with Call of Duty on the first stream, and then at night, I'll be returning to PUBG for the first time in over a week. Yes, I know. People craving their PUBG now. It's been over a week since I played it. And usually I played it on the second stream as a late night thing, so I'll be doing that again this Saturday night, okay? Sunday, continuing on with Bully, and then what this week will be, you know, basically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm not sure what day I'm taking off yet, but it's probably going to be Wednesday. It will be my day off this coming week. But during the daytime, I'll be doing Bully, and then at night, I'll be mixing it up with a variety of stuff. Whether it's, you know, the conclusion of Secret of Mana if I don't finish it yet. Whether it's, you know, me doing more Call of Duty or whatever. You know, I'll be balancing it out. So that's kind of 50-50 mainstream being Bully, and then nighttime stuff, you know, to make it variety. And then on Friday the 16th, Finally a new game. Well, it's not really. It's a remaster. Burnout Paradise, a racing game I never played, being remastered for modern consoles. All right. And so I'll be playing that. And then, of course, later on this month, we got Sea of Thieves. Apparently, South Park, the Fractured But Whole, is supposed to get its first story-based DLC this month. Then we've got Ni no Kuni 2. And then we've got Far Cry 5 and the final episode of Batman the Telltale Series Season 2. So all of that stuff is coming out by the end of the month. Pretty crazy amount of new stuff, right? A lot of new stuff coming out. So it should be fun, and it should be interesting, and there should be a wide variety of stuff on the stream here for you guys between now and the end of the month. I certainly hope that you will continue to come check it out on a daily basis, hang out with me, and have fun with games. Okay? Pretty sweet. All right. So there you go. There's a rough schedule, what you guys can expect between now and the end of March. I guess I should give a couple updates. Let's give an update on the subs. Right now, folks, we have a drive in the month of March to hit a few sub goals. What that means is if we hit a certain amount of subscribers here on the channel, I'll do some celebratory goals for you guys. Tier 1 is 500 subscribers. If we hit 500 subs by the end of the month, I'll be bringing back the Patron's Choice playthrough, which is a downtime playthrough of a game that patrons nominate and vote to see what is going to be, you know, a full playthrough in between all the new releases. Previous games that have won this have been games like Super Mario Sunshine, Spyro the Dragon, Persona games, Yakuza games, amongst many, many others. You know, there's been probably a dozen Patron's Choice games over the last 3 years that I've been doing patron stuff. So that being said, I would very much like to have this return. There's many games that people have been talking about. Gee, will Phil play this? Gee, will Phil play that? Gee, will Phil do this? Gee, will Phil do that? Well, this is the opportunity, right, for us to get that in there and you to actually have control over it. But we have to hit 500 subscribers on the channel this month. As of right now, I believe there is, we're at 429. I think so. I think we're at 429 subscribers on Twitch. So we're certainly not. It's not unrealistic, especially between the fact that right now it's only the 8th. We've got over 3 weeks left in the month. We've got 2 jam-packed weeks of new releases. Okay. So that being said, there's a lot of time between now and the end of the month. There's a lot of new releases. There's probably people who are going to be coming out to watch the new stuff. We could definitely do it. So for those of you who are not subscribed, please consider subbing by the end of the month. All right. To make this goal happen. Pretty cool. Now, we have a stretch goal. A goal that most realistically we're probably not going to hit. But I always like to have a stretch goal to try to motivate people. You know, back in January, we were crazy. We exceeded every stretch goal I had. I had to make extra stretch goals. It was pretty crazy. The stretch goal this month is 550 subscribers, which, by the way, I've had before. But, you know, right now, we're not really close to that. If I do hit that this month, I'll be doing a Rage-a-thon, where I'll be playing a marathon of games that are rage-inducing, that either games that I know will cause rage, like Super Meat Boy or I Want to Be the Guy, or games that people have wanted to see me play that have caused rage in the past. For example, Scarface, or playing Street Fighter V and stuff like that, okay? So, that is the deal. And hopefully we will hit these. So, please, if you want to see some fun, exciting goals happen, and of course, if you want to help support myself, please subscribe to the channel. You get access to all these fun emotes that people use all the time in the stream chat. I'm sure you guys see them. Pretty cool, right? All right. Okay, I think that's it. Well, I think what we could do is the plugs. We'll do a plug segment. And then when the plugs are done, then I do shout-outs for people who have cheered, subbed, and tipped here on the pre-stream. And then when that's done, we get started with gameplay. All right? So I guess we'll get to the plugs. Sound good? All right, let's do it. So let's start off, folks. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your viewership. Thank you for being here to hang out with me and enjoy video games together, whether you're live on stream on Twitch or whether you're enjoying yourself on YouTube, watching on demand, whichever it may be, okay? So, my nose is itching. Sorry. So, thank you for the positivity. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everything over the past few months. It's been great. Now, if you want to go above and beyond just being a standard stream viewer or video watcher, and you want to help support my ability to continue to do this in the long run, to be able to continue to provide for you daily, fun, on-demand gaming content, right? Or live streaming for free, all right? There are many ways that you can contribute. The first is Patreon, all right? Check it out over at patreon.com/DarksidePhil, where your monthly contributions to my pledge goal earn you really awesome personal perks. You know, first of all, your contributions to my Patreon directly aid my ability to afford doing this for a living. I'll give you a perfect example. Last night, and this is not a lie at all, this is 100% truth of something that happened last night. I was backing up my video files that I recorded on YouTube, and I said, oh crap, I'm down to only like 200 gigs of storage space left for backups, and I have no other hard drives available. I used them all. So I had to buy an external backup hard drive off of Amazon, which should be arriving in the next couple days. And it's $100, you know, and it sucks because this happens all the time. Every once in a while, every week or two, another expense comes up, whether it's a bunch of new games come out. Just like 2 days ago, I bought Detroit Become Human along with Heavy Rain, right? So I could play Heavy Rain this week. That was $70 plus tax. So, you know, every week I end up getting hundreds of dollars of operational cost here, you know, just to be able to keep this going. All right. You know, just last month, my monitor died. There's stuff that happens all the time. And that's on top of the fact that, you know, there's very expensive things like the cost of internet, the cost of electricity, etc. All right. So your pledges to my Patreon directly aid me to afford, you know, being able to do this as a long-term thing. Okay. But you earn cool things. All right. You earn your own personal perks for your contributions. All right. That being said, some of the awesome things that you can get: text or verbal thank yous in my videos, getting questions answered on my bi-monthly Q&A show, Ask the King, nominating or voting on games for events. Like, for example, that Indies Marathon that just took place. That was all patrons who nominated and voted on those games, right? And then, with the best perk, in my opinion, out of all of them, the private Q&A video, where I take anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes to answer any questions you send my way in a private video that is yours to own and do whatever you want with. This is the most popular perk by far. People who've done it really love it, and have some people even redone it over, you know, time to get more and more, because they like it so much they want to do it again and again. So all this is available over at patreon.com/DarksidePhil. Okay, so check it out at your leisure, and anything that you contribute there, guys, you really are significantly helping me, and I appreciate any support you can lend. In particular with this upcoming tax situation, which I am going to talk about a little bit later on pre-stream. Anything that you can support there is greatly appreciated and helps with that. So thank you. Okay. Number 2, my Teespring shop of merchandise has been fully restocked with new designs. We've got the Red Dead DSP design, the Sonic the Hedgehog spoof design, the Zombie Apocalypse design. We've got all these different designs now available on my Teespring shop. It just launched a couple days ago. Go ahead over there and give it a look. Anything that you get over there, I get a pretty sizable commission for, and it helps me out directly. But obviously, you get a pretty cool collectible and or piece of swag, as they say, right, folks? So what's available? T-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, stickers, mugs, all kinds of stuff. Personally, I own four different shirts. In addition to the fact that I own a sweatshirt and a mug. So I can personally attest to you, the quality of the stuff that you can get off of my Teespring is quite good. I wouldn't have gotten all that if it weren't, okay? I don't pick the lowest grade crap. I actually pick the better quality T-shirts and stuff at the expense of me. You know, I make less money because I pick a higher quality shirt that has a bigger base cost. But it's good stuff, all right? Please give it a look. And if you do happen to get anything off my Teespring shop and you'd like to share that, please send me a picture over on my Twitter at TheyCallMeDSP. I'd be more than happy to share that with my 25,000 Twitter followers, okay? Then, last but certainly not least, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching here live on stream and you're having fun today and you want to get a shout out on the stream, if you either cheer, sub, or tip during the stream, you will get a verbal shout out. So that's cheering with bits, subscribing to the channel, or using the tips link, which you can find either below the stream if you're watching, say, on a desktop computer. You know, you get that grid of information below the stream, like links to all my stuff. There's a tip section you can click on. Or by using the command !tip in the stream chat, it'll actually bring up in the stream chat the link that you can click to go and leave a tip, okay? Anything that you do, cheer, subs, tips, you're going to get a verbal shout out during today's stream. Now, keep in mind two things. Number one, I'm playing Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain is a very quick time focused game. Meaning, if I'm in the middle of a quick time events to live or die, no, I'm not going to be giving you shout outs on the fly. All right, I need to be kind of focused on the game. However, there's many times during the game where you're just walking around investigating or exploring or doing dialogue options, and there's tons of opportunity at dead time. So definitely I'll be talking with you guys all the way during the stream and giving the shout outs during those segments. All right. That's number one. Number two, keep in mind that these shout outs are at my discretion. If we get trolls in the stream chat or whatever who are being negative or whatever, I'm not going to do it. Same thing with people who are leaving like ginormous messages of 5 million things, you know. Oh, there's a paragraph of 14 sentences. You're probably not going to get a full shout out for that. You know what I mean? But if you keep your stuff concise, if you leave, you know, interesting messages or questions or whatever, you'll get a shout out, okay? Number two, if you cheer 50 bits or more, if you subscribe to the channel and click on the share button, or if you tip me $5 or more, you'll actually get an on-screen thank you pop-up notification. So it's a visual, okay? A visual thank you as well as the verbal. I want to say thank you to Popsicolo, who has designed all three of our currently being used animations for thank yous, okay? But yeah, it's pretty cool because you get both the visual and the verbal, right? Instead of just one or the other, you get both if you hit those thresholds, all right? So, that being said, folks, it's a really cool way for you to get some interaction with me during the stream, and I'm very appreciative of anything that you guys do contribute during streams. Now, the final thing I want to mention, ladies and gentlemen, on the stream before we get started, and then we're going to get to shout-outs here, all right? Coming up in April, okay? Coming up in April, I have a pretty serious situation. I have not one, not two, but three very large tax payments that are going to either begin to be due or due in full in April. At least two of them are going to be due in full. One of them, I believe, is hopefully going to be on a payment plan. One of them is back taxes for the years of 2014 to 2016. I was supposed to be paying state business taxes here in the state of Washington, but my previous tax attorney did an awful job and did not do due diligence to research and find out that I owed these. So I've got 2.5 years of back taxes that I should have been paying and I would have paid if I had known about them that are now going to be all owed starting in April. All right. I don't know how much it is. I don't know if they're going to put me on a payment plan, which I really hope they fucking do, because if they don't, I don't have the money for it. In addition to that, I have the final remainder payment for my federal taxes of 2017 that's coming due because I made a little bit of extra money at the end of last year because you guys helped me out to pay my 2017 business taxes that came out of nowhere because, again, I didn't know that I owed them. So because I made extra money at the end of the year, now I owe extra taxes. So I have to pay that in April. And then my first estimated tax payment for 2018 is also due at the end of April. So I've got 3 giant tax bills all coming up. I don't have the money for them. I have some money, but I don't have nearly enough money to pay all these bills because they're all coming up at once. All right? It's a shitty situation. Now, if I can't pay these, it's very simple what happens. Whatever I don't pay ends up becoming overdue. Fees and interest start accumulating. All right? Hopefully, what I'm hoping is over the course of this year, things continue to go as well as they're going. Right? We've got a bunch of new releases now coming up shortly. So I get the feeling we're going to see an increase. More people will be showing up to watch stuff. More people will be contributing. Or we're going to see a big increase in stuff here on Twitch. Okay? What I'm also hoping, which I don't know if is ever going to happen, is that YouTube will pick up again. What happened last year was that January and February on YouTube were terrible. And then in March, April, May, it picked up. I'm hoping that happens again. Because right now, it's doing terribly. All right, YouTube is the worst it's ever been. I'm making almost nothing on the videos I'm doing, even though my views are good. My views on YouTube are good, but what I'm making is just abysmal compared to what I used to make on YouTube, which is why I need to kind of lean on Twitch right now, okay? So that being said, I need your support right now. I need you guys to help me out. How can you help? There's 2 ways you can help, all right? Number 1, if you're watching live on stream, you can tip me. As I've already described, you can click on a link to tip me below the stream, or if you use the ! Tip command in stream chat, you can bring up the link in stream chat. By tipping me, those funds I get right away, and all tips that I get between now and April, I'm using 100% to pay taxes, okay? So whatever you can contribute, much appreciated, to defray the cost of these taxes that are coming up, all right? That's number 1. Number 2, if you're watching this on demand on YouTube, and you're like, well, you know, I'm not on live stream, I can't tip you, pledge to my Patreon, which I've already mentioned, patreon.com/DarkSidePhil. Any contributions you pledge to my Patreon between now and the end of March, I also get in time for the tax situation. So either tipping or Patreon are the 2 big ways that you can help me right now, all right? And I definitely need your help because I don't know what's going to happen. If I can't raise enough funds to pay these taxes in April, now you've got fees and back taxes and everything that's going to be accumulating really badly. By the end of the year, if I'm in a bad tax position, chances are I got to sell my house, which I don't want to do. I'm in a position here where I earned this house through hard work. My girlfriend just moved in the month of February. We're starting an awesome life together. We actually finally are just wrapping up all the things that we needed to do, like getting her license and insurance and health insurance, and she's going to be starting her job soon. And it's like all these great positives coming together. Now imagine if all that has to end because now I have to sell my house because this motherfucker back in Connecticut literally fucked me over, and I have no recourse. I can't sue the guy because I have no money. So how do I sue the guy for what he did wrong? I can't, This whole situation sucks. And I love doing what I do for a living. I absolutely do. I want to be able to keep doing it. I don't see why I should have to completely change my life because of the actions of one asshole who was completely irresponsible and screwed me over. Why would I have to, you know what I mean? I know we can get through it. We've gotten through things like this before, but I do need your support. I certainly would not be coming out and asking for, support via tips or Patreon right now if I did not absolutely need it, okay? So please, if you can, contribute. Please, whatever you can, all right? Sound good? All right, folks. So now it is time. It is time for shout-outs. For those who have cheered, subbed, tipped, and done all those things during the stream so far, all right? It is time. Are we ready? Are you ready? All right. So, let's see here. Overnight, we had a couple cheers from people who... Well, actually, I take it back. No, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't refresh my Muxie. I'm looking at it like, wait a minute. This doesn't make sense. It doesn't say that I ever ended a stream. Allow me to refresh here. I thoroughly confused myself. Alright, let's try this again. Okay. Overnight, there were a couple people who did contribute, and they actually cheered while I wasn't even broadcasting. That is very appreciated because it means that there's a few people who actually keep me in mind when I'm not even streaming. That's pretty crazy, right? And that makes me feel great that people like what I do and appreciate me and come to contribute when I'm not even here. So thank you for that. Infinite55 did a 100-bit cheer overnight, as well as the GOAT Lucas did a 25-bit cheer, and he asked the following. He said, hey man, loving the playthrough. Do you ever think you will ever have kids? I mean, quite frankly, GOAT Lucas, that's a very heavy question, all right? But to be completely honest with you, at this point in my life, no, I don't think I'm having kids. I'm about to be 36 years old. My job is something that I absolutely love, but is not something that is, I don't want to say job security, because to be quite frank, there is no job security. It doesn't exist. It's a very big misconception that people have. You could be in an office job for 25 years and still get laid off, So there is no such thing as job security. But when it comes to what I do for a living, all right, it's not very consistent. Just look at the changes over the years. When I started out doing this for 2 years, you couldn't even make money doing it. Then I could only make ad revenue on vlogs, but that didn't work out, right? Then I was able to monetize video game videos, and at first they were incredibly profitable, then they were only moderately profitable. Now, because of the fluctuations on YouTube, they've been terrible. Then I went and streamed on Twitch, then I left Twitch and streamed on YouTube, then I came back and I stream on Twitch, and now, primarily, I'm a streamer, right? Rather than really a YouTube content creator, I play games on Twitch, right? It's been a very big roller coaster ride. Just over the 10 years that I've done this, things have changed so frequently, right? And so many times that at this point, it's just kind of crazy. You know, how could I, as a responsible adult, say, I want to raise a child? Oh, by the way, I have no idea if I can pay my taxes. I have no idea if I can pay my bills. I don't know if I'm going to make a lot of money or no money tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's pretty crazy. And it's one thing if you're taking responsibility just for yourself and or a significant other and you guys work together to figure that out. And it's a very different story when you're bringing another party into that. You know what I mean? At this point, and by the way, I'm not even saying that I want kids because I've never been in my life. I don't think I've ever really sat down and thought seriously about it. I think if you're going to have kids, you don't think about it until you're in a situation where you can actually support it. And I really don't feel that I've been in a consistent enough situation in the past 10 years where I would ever even sit down and say, oh, you know, yeah, I want kids or I don't. It doesn't even make sense, right? I really don't have any crazy desire to raise a child. I don't. I know some people do. They're like, man, my whole life I've always wanted to have a kid. I've never had that feeling. I've never had that parental kind of drive that I must have progeny and I must pass on the genes. I really could care to give two shits. I just don't care about that at all in any way, shape, or form. Quite frankly, with the amount of negativity and trolling and stuff that I put up with on a daily basis, I mean, we had some of it earlier on stream. People already talking about what's the new drama that people invented about Phil to spill all over the fucking internet that is completely stupid and untrue, but let's just keep propagating it and talking about it since nothing's going on with him anymore because he ignores it, right? So how could I? Would that be fair to a kid? Can you imagine a kid growing up, the son of DSP, and now constantly being bombarded with negativity and shit? You know what I mean? Like, just to give some perspective here, all right? My girlfriend, Kat, I introduced her to you guys. I took a picture of her in December, which then created a giant whirlwind of she's not real or she's an escort. How crazy was that? Then she moves in with me, and we basically shared 2 pictures of her and a bunch of pictures of stuff she's made as food, all right? Almost nothing. I've shared almost nothing with you guys about her on purpose. And just look at the insane negativity and shit that people have thrown her way already. I'm not going to bring up any of it, but it's crazy. People have made hour-long videos about a girl who only has had 2 pictures of herself on the internet since she moved in with me. You know what I mean? You know how crazy that is? So, can you imagine now bringing a kid into the mix? That's insanity. I would never do, you know what I mean? That's just nuts. At this point in my life, you know, I'm about to be 36 years old. I have no idea if I'm ever going to have job security or financial security. No. I'm really not in any situation where I'm considering having a kid at all, period. All right? And I don't think I ever will. I really don't realistically see that ever changing. That's just kind of, you know, right now, I like being with my girlfriend. We're building a life together. We're having a lot of fun, you know, experiencing things together for the first time and building our lives together. And I think that's going to be my focus moving forward. Having just a fun and positive life, and, you know, and that's that. Now, you know, some people, it's in the cards, kids. Some people, it's not. I guess for me, it's not. Okay? All right. All right. Shout out to Eternal Napalm, who did a 25-bit cheer and said, Phil, or he actually said, DSP, why is everyone excited for the Division 2? I personally couldn't give a rat's ass, more excited for Nintendo Direct. You know, it's funny, because the year was 2016, all right? And the year is 2016. There were games coming out. Now, back then, keep in mind, I was still the person who literally covered every single new release. It was like what I was all about. I had to cover every new release possible, okay? That was kind of my deal. If there's a new game coming out, I'm covering it, whether it's good, it's bad, no matter what it is, and I'm giving you my opinion on it, all right? But what I decided in 2016 was that I was going to change things up. I was going to not play every new release. Instead, I was going to focus on things that I liked more than others. And one of the games that was on the fence about was The Division. A lot of people were like, you gotta play it, you gotta play it. We want to see you play it, you gotta play it. I made the executive decision at the time, I'm not playing this game. Nothing about this game looks interesting to me. You know, it's a game that's been in development for a long time. It's finally coming out, doesn't look good to me. Then when it came out, all I heard were horror stories about the game was terrible at launch week. But then it got better over time. But all it was one of these team-based cooperative shooters. Very, very grindy. All right, very grindy. And the only reason that anyone really enjoyed The Division is because, much like Destiny and much like all of these other games that are co-op based, it was fun to play with friends. And if you played it by alone, it was terrible and all of its flaws were exposed. But most people played it with a group of friends, and therefore they had a good time. Was it because they had a good time because the game was good? No. They had a good time because they were doing co-op with their friends, and it hid the flaws of the game, and they ended up playing it over time because it was fun to play with friends. Okay? So that is the reason why I skipped The Division, and I did not, I really, honestly, that year, I don't feel like I missed out on anything. Now, over the years, apparently The Division had updates and everything, but for the most part, if you actually look at the general consensus of people who've played The Division, you've got one group of people who insist that it's good, but if you ask them, how did you play it and how long did you play it? Oh, well, I played it with my group of hardcore friends, and we hung out in it for a couple months, and then when the expansion came out, we came back to it, and we played it together. Okay. But then you ask other people, and they're like, no, the game's shit. You know, it really is a pathetic co-op game. It's not well designed, had a lot of flaws and things that were annoying. And really the only reason it got hype was because it was just, again, another co-op game during a year when people were into hype co-op team-based games. It was the hype thing at the time, and this is what everyone was into. So they announced, oh, The Division 2 is coming out. You know what I say? Who gives a fuck? Like, seriously, I think now we're finally starting to see that these team-based shooters are now... these co-op based games, in fact, are now starting to lose popularity. And instead now, the new fad is Battle Royale, right? These fads happen all the time. First we get the first-person shooter fad, right? And there were 4 million FPS games all over the fucking everywhere. Then it was the zombies fad, and we had 1 million games that all had zombie modes and games like Left 4 Dead and shit. You know, then that fad died out. So what was the next one, right? And we kept going from fad to fad to fad. And then the fad 2 years ago was team-based cooperative shooters. Oh, that's old. Now we got to do Battle Royale, right? It's just fad, gaming fads. So in that regard, I really don't think, that it's worth, playing. No one has told me that there was a reason to play The Division, that it was a groundbreaking game that added something to gaming. No one has said that. Oh, it's just a bunch of crap, generic stuff you played in other games hashed together to make a generic, boring, team-based shooter, but everyone played it because they played with friends, right? So there you go. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. So, no, I don't care about The Division 2, and I probably never will. All right, Eternal Napalm did another 50-bit cheer and said, bring on today's Nintendo Direct. I'll be thrilled with a Metroid Prime Trilogy remaster and a reintroduction of Shadow of the Eternals. Well, it's funny, because when Nintendo Direct comes out, 9 times out of 10, I literally never hear about it because there's nothing going on. But every once in a while, Nintendo has something good to say. So, hey, when Nintendo Direct happens, if you guys hear anything fun or amazing about Nintendo, please let me know. Obviously, I own a Switch, and I want to be in the loop. Shout out to Jakey Boy 97, who did a 25-bit cheer. I appreciate that. And then we had Squirmhammer Mills, who was a troll and did a troll cheer. But you know what? I am going to adjust this troll cheer. All right? He does a 100-bit cheer, and he says, you're an adult. Take some responsibility for your life. All right, I will. There's many things I've done over the years that led me to have a negative presence on the internet. And I fully own them. Being stupid and saying shit about games I'd never played. Like, for example, oh, Minecraft's just for kids. It's a piece of shit. It's kiddie, and no one should like it, right? Those are the things I kind of said back in the day. You're talking 8 years ago. Those are the things I used to say. In the past 4 to 5 years, I have matured greatly. I have changed as a human being. I'm a much more educated, mature, and wise person than I used to be, all right? I do take responsibility when stuff happens that's my fault, all right? So, If something goes wrong, I will. Sorry, but having a tax attorney who I had for 5+ years in Connecticut, who I paid a lot of money to do my taxes right, and apparently always did, when I moved to Washington and I specifically said, I think I'm going to get a new tax attorney because it would make sense, and he said, no, don't worry. I have the ability to still do your taxes properly. We'll make sure that everything's done correctly. I can still be your tax attorney even though you're moving. I trusted this guy. He'd always been straight with me. He'd always done a good job. All right. He screwed me. He really did. 3.5 years of taxes that I was supposed to be gradually paying, which I would have been able to pay slowly if I'd known I owed them. That instead, now I'm completely screwed. I'm probably thousands of dollars. I'm assuming it's going to be like $5,000 or more that I'm going to owe, at least on these back taxes. Plus whatever the interest, plus late fees, whatever it's all going to be, right? And then you're going to make me pay it over time. The problem is, already now I'm screwed because now I owe that on top of the federal taxes, which went up. It's like just a big snowballing effect because this one asshole. No, I'm not going to take responsibility for that. I have nothing to do with that. Sorry, but I'm not a tax professional. I'm not a tax expert. And there's no guidebook on the internet that says if you own your own business and you're moving it from one state to another, definitely leave your old tax attorney and get a new one in the state you're moving to. None of this exists, all right? People assume that, you should just know better. Doesn't exist. This whole thing of, having an internet presence and all of that, basically, I'm just tired of it. People want to act like, oh, I'm supposed to know everything, and I'm supposed to be this perfect individual that absolutely knows everything whatsoever. And, I'm supposed to be, I was supposed to know all of that. No, it's not, again, anything I did wrong, you want to tell me you did this wrong on stream. You really misspoke here and you insulted people here, okay? That's one thing. You're right. I'll take responsibility for the things that I've done. Years ago, you masturbated on stream. Of course, I fessed up to that right away, right? But I'm not going to take responsibility for this tax situation. I'm sorry. I didn't do it. I did not create this situation. This guy did. And the situation is that I'm already in so much debt and so many problems that I don't have the capability to sue this guy and go after him for the fees and go after him for back interest or, basically damages. I don't have the capability to do it. First of all, I'm not in Connecticut. So to sue the guy and then having to go to like a trial proceeding in Connecticut, I would be able to do it. Number two, I don't have the money for it. And I certainly don't have the time for it. You guys know, with the amount of work that I put in here on streams and stuff, I don't. So, you want to tell me to take responsibility? I will. When I do something actively 100% stupid or wrong, I will take responsibility. However, this tax situation is not one of them. All right? At all. So, you're really barking up the wrong tree here. Okay, you are. Okay, shout out to Fred Flintstone, who subscribed for the 7th month in a row. Thank you for 7 months of support, Fred Flintstone. I definitely appreciate that. Aussie Sly 47 Adam did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you very much, Aussie Sly. I appreciate that. Fac 316 did a 25-bit cheer. He said, people raise kids like that all the time, though. Well, Fac, people raise kids in many different ways, and I'm not a person here that's going to tell you the right or wrong way to do it. Especially considering the fact that I don't have any experience doing it. But what I will say is this, as a kind of person I am, I would never take on the responsibility of a kid without knowing that I could give them a stable and safe future financially. And I can't do that. And that's why it's not even a consideration for me. There you go. Insomniatic Me did a 100-bit cheer and said, sup, what's going on, man? Good to see ya. Hopefully you enjoy Heavy Rain today. Oliviosaurus Rex did a 25-bit cheer and said, yes, but with your girlfriend's new job, won't that help your tax situation? Right now, what you got to realize, all right, and of course, this is getting very personal. I'm not going to get too crazy into it, is, yes, having additional income, of course, will help. But just having another person in the house, you got to understand, here's what happened in the past year, all right? I was, single by myself here in most of 2017. All of my costs went down. Cost of water, cost of gas. I didn't even turn on my heat during most of the winter. I left it off, and I just kind of was cold, but I wanted to save money, okay? Food cost was way down. You know, now there's someone else in the house, all that goes back up. So primarily, you know, any contributions that my girlfriend makes are going to be to pay the monthly bills, help pay the electricity, help pay the gas, help pay for food, that kind of stuff. No, she's not going to be making an exorbitant amount of money where I'm going to be able to wrap that up and put it towards my taxes. That's not how it works. You know, she has her own stuff. She has a cell phone bill. She has her own responsibilities. By the way, she's a normal adult human, and she has, you know, stuff of her own life to take care of. It's not my business to say, oh, you moved in with me, so now immediately you pay my taxes. That's so stupid. And people that say that are very ignorant, okay? Now, I don't believe that Aliphosaurus Rex is saying that. I think they're saying, oh, well, there's extra income, that'll help, right? Of course, but it's not going to help with what you're thinking. There's not going to be exorbitant amounts of money rolling in the door. It's going to be some extra cash to help pay the utilities and stuff. That's the point, okay? People really have issues with the way I say stuff. Phil said a normal adult human. That's weird verbiage. What I mean is, it's not someone coming into the picture who walks in with zero debt, with zero issues of their own, with zero responsibilities. You know what I mean? You know, every normal adult human out there who has a job and an active life pretty much has their own thing going on. You probably got your own debts from the past, whether it's credit cards or loans or things in your name that you're paying down gradually, right? You got your own responsibilities. Just because my girlfriend moves in with me doesn't automatically mean, oh, here's free money. That's not how it works. But again, intelligent people know that. People who are immature and young and just think that's the world is this easy moving black and white, they're the people who would think that way. So, anyway, shout out to Cobra Strike 09 who did 100 cheer and said, heavy rain hype. Here's to the game that had me subbing to you on YouTube. Very nice. Sudella did a 50-bit cheer, and he said, you're 100% right. Having kids is a big responsibility. It's a lot of hard work, but it's all worth it to share with someone special in your life. No, I agree. You know, I absolutely agree. And, you know, I'm certainly not saying that, you know, having kids isn't rewarding or enriching. I'm absolutely sure it is. I'm just saying, you know, again, my personal belief is that until I would be in a situation where I'd be steady myself, right? If I were one of these big YouTubers rolling in dough, bringing in insane amounts of money every month, million subs, you know, oh no, YouTube ad revenue has plummeted, you know, now I'm making 50% of the exorbitant amount of money that's way more than enough to make a reasonable living. Oh darn, you know, that's never been my situation. You know, there was 1 year really where I made a pretty ridiculous amount of money on YouTube, and that went towards paying off all my previous debts. And I saved that up so that I could eventually move across the country to Washington, where I am now. And that's it. Every other year that I've done this for a living has been a pretty reasonable, you know, take. You know, what you guys got to realize is, oh, you know, Phil brings in a certain amount of money, but I also spend a lot of money to keep this going. You know, I have a lot of business expenses between, like I said, the monthly cost of internet, the monthly cost of electricity, the monthly, all the games that I have to buy and equipment that I have to buy. You know, having my own health insurance because I'm self-employed. There's a ridiculous amount of things you guys aren't aware of that goes into running an operation like this. That makes it, you know, if I just had a 9-to-5 job, none of that's a factor, right? Everything's provided for. The electricity, I don't pay for it, right? Everything I need to perform the job is provided to me. That's different when you work for an employer, or when you're self-employed, you have to pay for all the shit yourself. So regardless of what I brought in, that's the other thing. We have evidence that Phil probably made this much during this year. And it means absolutely nothing. Because if you have no idea what my expenses are, right, or what I actually pay with my outstanding debt from the past, you have no idea how much actual disposable income I have. And that's really the case, where I'm in a situation where even though I may raise a certain amount of money every year, I have a very, very little disposable income. And that's the problem when it comes with things like these tax issues come up. Well, we're barely making ends meet, paying all the bills. Now, this comes out of nowhere, and I'm somehow supposed to deal with it when I can't, right? See what I mean? It sucks. It absolutely sucks. And it's just terrible that this is a situation that I work my butt off, and despite how hard I work or what I do, that something like this could come up and screw me over. I hate it, but it is what it is. And so again, I would not take on any kind of crazy responsibilities knowing that in the situation I'm in, I'm not even in a situation where I'd be able to support the situation, okay? Like having a kid, for example. All right, well, we've got a silly cheer from someone called the son of DSP. And he said, what up, Big Daddy? What up, chat? You know, Trump's meeting with game devs today. Got thoughts on that? He thinks games are creating serial killers. We've already been through this, like, years and years ago. Anyone remember Jack Thompson, attorney Jack Thompson, who was dead set on trying to correlate that violence came from people who played violent video games, and he could never do it. He literally could never. With all the years he paid experts to do research and all that, he could never actually create any kind of factual evidence whatsoever, all right, whatsoever, regarding any kind of correlation between the two. It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. And I don't really see Trump, once again, looking for a scapegoat, you know. What's the scapegoat? We always got to find a scapegoat. Instead of finding the root cause, let's find scapegoats, right? So, you know, an unprecedented number of kids are doing school shootings. It must be those video games because the kids play video games, right? By the way, back in the 90s, it was rap music. In the 90s, it must be rap music because the rap culture is so big now that, you know, the gangster rap is making these kids go kill people. It would every decade we got a new scapegoat. Okay? So I'm sorry, you know, there may be things that people agree with Trump on and things they disagree. This is one that I adamantly disagree with. Let's put it this way. Games like Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, right? Huge games where all you do, Grand Theft Auto, you're stealing constantly, you're running people over with cars, you're murdering people, right? Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty are best-selling games that millions upon millions upon millions of people worldwide, all right, have played. Monster Hunter World, the best-selling game Capcom's ever made. It's all about running around and just randomly attacking wild creatures. I hate to tell you guys this, I don't see people randomly, wantedly running through the streets, carjacking people constantly. I don't see people in full military gear running through the streets like Black Ops, Call of Duty players shooting each other. And I certainly don't see anyone running down the street with a giant sword attacking wild animals. Okay? This doesn't happen. You may have a very small group of mentally ill people, fringe people who, yes, they're influenced by games because they're already mentally ill. That's not the core cause of what's going on in our country, all right? We need to find the core cause of what's happening and solve it that way, okay? I don't understand why people have to find these fucking, you know, crazy scapegoats for what it's just insanity. But it is what it is. Rather than find the root cause, because that's tough, find the scapegoat, pin the tail on the donkey, right? That's really how I see it, so. So stupid. This is really dumb. Anyway, Judy Usagi. Judy Usagi tipped me $1. What a name. Whenever I hear Usagi, it reminds me of Usagi Yojimbo, who was a Japanese manga character. It was actually a samurai rabbit who had a crossover with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know why it always pops into my head. But anyway, thank you for the $1 tip. And Judy says, Phil, I used to be a hater, but it's cool to see how much of a better person you've become, and I legitimately enjoy your content now. Well, thank you, Judy. I appreciate that. Okay. YOLO Dopper, holy crap, if this is true, this is terrible. YOLO Dopper just did a cheer and said, I lost $14,000 worth of stuff when I was importing stuff from China because I didn't know something about customs. So there's no guidebook to life. Don't worry about it. Now, I can attest to this personally because I used to work for a helicopter parts company. And we had a nightmare situation where basically the federal government was coming down on us and saying, we just basically realized you guys have been importing and exporting stuff incorrectly for years. And because we finally caught you out, we're kind of like coming down on you. And they basically slammed the book on this company and said, here's all the real regulations. You were supposed to be doing this and this and this and this and this, and you're not doing it. Therefore, we're freezing all your shipments. And our company was like, what the fuck? Like, how are we going to operate? We have tons of international customers. We can't operate as a company if we can't get this stuff cleared up. And it was a big nightmare situation where they had to hire a crack team of people from outside the company to come in and form a team to try to fix the situation. Customs can be a huge pain in the ass. Customs law, all right, can actually completely ruin a company if you're not aware of what you can and can't do. Definitely. So in that regard, man, I feel for you, YOLO Dopper. I've been in that situation where I was part of a team that was trying to fix this problem, and man, I know how bad it can be. So there you go. All right, so Astrojet Boy, who was being very negative in the stream chat and repeating detractor garbage in the stream chat, cheered to ask me about the detractor garbage in the stream chat, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I had enough of this. It's very simple. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Every single fucking day, people make shit up about me. Here's a new thing about DSP he said on stream that's terrible. Here's a new leaked document that proves this or that about DSP. Here's a new person on YouTube who doesn't like DSP. I'm done with it. I'm not addressing it anymore. You can believe whatever the hell you want, all right? You can't. At this point, there's been so much fabricated bullshit about me. I've had it. I'm not going to be addressing anything anymore. Ever again. I'm done with it. You know? Pretty much the thing the straw that broke the camel's back for me was the fucking escort story. Because it was 100% fabricated, not a shred of evidence, yet all this fabricated shit came up. Okay? Oh, this is true and that is true, and look, here's a link here and here's a link there. Okay? In particular, by the way, one of the things that supposedly was leaked about that escort story was from this person who apparently, I guess they're saying this is a PM or something that leaked. I don't know. I don't care. All I have to tell you is, enough is enough. All right? Stop believing the bullshit. Here's what you guys need to know. All right? Here's what you need to know. Every day, I'm here live on stream having fun with you guys. All right? I'm putting out entertaining, fun gaming content. Okay? And if you're here to have fun and be positive and have a great, positive vibe and just chill and enjoy life, guess what? That is what we're here for. Not to address every stupid piece of negative shit that idiots bring up, that they fabricate, that they pull out of their fucking asses. I'm done with it. I'm not going to waste my time on it. So, Astro Jet Boy, one and only warning. It doesn't matter how long you've been a fan. It doesn't matter, how much you like me or dislike me or you want to know the truth. The bottom line is, I am not involved in any of it. I'm not going to get involved in any of this fucking crazy shit. Every day, something crazy is said about me. If I literally had to bring it up and address it every day to try to disprove what's said about me every day, I would never play a game. I would literally be here, sitting here, on stream, for 12 hours a day, defending myself against nonsense. Why the fuck would I want to defend against this? It doesn't matter. It's all bullshit. It's all the negative nonsense they bring up to bring attention to themselves because there's nothing else going on for them. They're bored. It was a slow news day, right? Here's the bottom line, all right? Here's what's happened. In the past week, they tried to get me kicked off Twitch for the claiming that I was bullying a kid that I didn't bully, and if you actually watch the footage, you can blatantly see it didn't happen, right? Then some YouTuber I never heard of apparently has been on my case making videos, negative videos about me. I don't care about that. So I'm ignoring all that. Oh, we got to get something new now. So already those two stories are dead. Let's get a new one. So here comes the new one. Like, do you not understand how this works? Seriously, what would these people do if I didn't exist? What would these people do if I did not exist? They would have no lives because this is all they do is they focus on me. What's the next crazy thing? What's the next crazy thing we can say? We can spin. We can, you know what I mean? So I've had enough. I've had enough. I'm not going to be addressing every little thing. And Astro Jet Boy, yes, you are a regular, and I know that, and I know you're a fan. You can't get yourself caught up in this stupid bullshit. Why are you even paying attention to it? I don't pay attention to it. So why are you? Stop. Because all you're going to do, you're going to get sucked into the black hole of daily nonsense. And it's going to ruin you, man. I'm telling you, there's been many people, they get sucked into that fucking black hole. They forget that I'm a person, that the only reason I'm here is to sit here and play games and have fun with you guys on a daily basis. And if you just do that, you'll have fun and enjoy yourself. Instead, they get sucked into the toilet, the toxic toilet of bullshit. And if you do that, that's it. You're going to ruin it for yourself, dude. Okay? So, just relax, sit back, and enjoy the ride, enjoy the show. Stop paying attention to all the stupid bullshit, all right? It's that simple. Every day, someone's going to say something different, all right? Everyone's going to say something ridiculous about me. Someone's going to have this new leaked thing, this terrible thing he said on stream, this and that and this. It's all bullshit. I've endured 10 fucking years of bullshit, and I'm not going to I'm not going to deal with this on a daily basis. I didn't even want to address it the first time. That's why I timed you out to hope that you would just cool down and leave it alone. But then you had to cheer and talk about it too. Relax, all right? But I'll tell you right now, this is the last time I'm going to say it. If you continuously are focusing on this shit, you're going to find yourself removed from chat, because that's not what this is about, okay? Okay. Fred Flintstone did a cheer, and he said, Phil is secretly a reptilian spying on us normal adult humans. I, for one, welcome our new ancient lizard overlords. Well, there you go. Wolf Girl 666 did a cheer and said, I have a $3,800 gaming PC just to play VR chat. How about you? Probably now my gaming PC is not even worth $1,000. It's so outdated now. I bought it in 2014. So, you know, a 4-year-old gaming PC, I'm pretty sure the graphics card's outdated. It's probably an older processor. It's probably got everything outdated at this point. Yeah. So, no, I certainly do not have any kind of a top-of-the-line PC, which is why I don't I very rarely do PC gaming just for that reason. All right. Let's see here. Shout out to Anonysaurus Rex. Did a 9-month resub. Thank you very much, Anonysaurus Rex, for a 9-month resub. I do appreciate that. Obviously, 9 months of support. Very much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And he says, ugly babies have been conceived and born since I started watching. How time flies. Okay, then. Shout out to Judy Usagi, who did a 69-bit cheer and said, no, Phil, my name is Judy Usagi because I'm a furry and my persona is a rabbit. Huh, well, there you go. So, wait a minute. So, actually, my association of Usagi with a rabbit was correct? What does Usagi mean? Does it mean rabbit? I actually have no idea. Now I'm curious. What does the word Usagi mean? I want to look this up. Usagi. Rabbit. It means rabbit. I didn't know that. I seriously never knew that. Okay, then. That makes sense, I guess, right? I guess that makes total... I had no clue. All these years, I never knew that. Well, then. So, Usagi Yojimbo literally means, like, a samurai rabbit. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk that it was that easy? Okay, then. And shout out to YOLO Dopper, who cheered again. He says, I can't believe people can be so jealous. They don't focus on improving their own lives and instead neglect their responsibilities while trolling you. You know, I don't really want to get into it because certainly I don't understand it. I'm not the kind of person who could ever be focused on this kind of negativity like these people are. I'm just not. I have to have positive, constructive stuff in my life. If I don't, I feel like there's something missing, drastically missing, and I feel like there's something wrong. I could never just sit and focus and I gotta make fun of this person. I'm gonna snicker when they fail, and I'm gonna, I can't do that. That's not the kind of person I am. I mean, I'll be honest, just like any other normal human, yes, am I jealous of certain people and people who are successful and whatever? Of course I am. Of course I'm going to have jealousy. That's a natural human emotion for those who have more than you. You're always going to have that natural kind of jealousy of those who maybe have, been more successful or things like that. But that doesn't mean I turn that into, let me now try to ruin that person's life. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what the mentality of these people are, because quite frankly, I don't understand it myself. I couldn't. My brain isn't wired that way to understand it. So, shout out to Randy2 Savage, who did a 50-bit cheer and said, why don't you turn on face cam during shoutouts? Well, because who wants to see my face for an hour? Nobody. You guys already see my face for 4 hours during the gameplay. You don't need to see my ugly mug for another hour. That's ridiculous. Now, the truth of the matter is, of course, I'm doing all kinds of illicit activities behind the camera. I'm actually, I'm snorting coke. You know, I'm dealing drugs as well. I'm, you know, having rampant, unprotected sex. All these things that aren't allowed on Twitch. I'm doing, you know, all these things are. I'm committing mass murder behind the camera. You know, these things you can't see. On stream. That's why I have to hide my face during pre-stream. I have to get all these things out of my system before I start the actual gameplay. Because can you imagine if I started doing that during the gameplay? It would totally derail the gameplay. Of course, I'm not doing any of those things. It's just a joke. But what do you... I mean, why would you want to see my face before... It's ridiculous. Why would you want to see my face before I start gameplay? I don't understand. You've confused me. Okay. Shout out to Judy Usagi, who did another 31-bit cheer, and said, any plans for Kirby Star Allies? Also, Usagi Ojimbo was the shit, and the most badass rabbit ever, well after me. Not really. I'm not really planning on doing Kirby. Right now, I've got one more week left before new releases that I'm actually really interested in start to hit. And yes, I could play Kirby this week, but instead, because the polling was so close between Heavy Rain and Bully Scholarship Edition, I decided to basically do a solid for the viewers and give them what they want. I know they want to see Bully again. So I said, you know what? Just because you guys were so awesome, basically it was the biggest poll ever, the most voting ever. I said, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to do Bully for you guys. You know, and quite frankly, that gets me all out of the situation of having to worry about Nintendo claiming videos on YouTube and all kinds of other stupid bullshit. I'm not saying the Kirby game won't be good. It probably will be. Most Kirby first-party games are quite good, albeit a little bit easy. But I'm just really, at this point, not too super interested in Kirby. Let's put it that way, okay? Okay. Last but not least, Yolo Dauber did a final cheer and said, "What's? What's?" Okay, what's? I think he meant to say something a full message, and he completely hit return before he was ready by accident. So, all right, folks. I think it is now time. It is time to begin. Heavy rain. The rain is very heavy. Heavy is the rain. Yes, the rain has lots of mass and weight and volume. All right, let's do it. Let's begin. Right where we left off, and let's see what happens in Heavy Rain today. Sounds good? Again, thank you for all your contributions, everyone. I do appreciate it. Again, if you do really want to help me out in a major way right now, you can either tip me during the streams by checking below the stream for that link to do it, or if you type !tip in the stream chat, it'll give you the link where you can do it. Or you can pledge to my Patreon. Either of those things help me tremendously, and those are funds that I'll get in time to help me with the taxes coming up, okay? I would appreciate any contributions. All right, let's do this. Let's get to Heavy Rain.